Hi everybody,
Hello.
welcome.
Do it.
Yeah, there we go. So, they're going to wait until I start talking. There's some sort of, I don't know, they've come to some agreement. This is a way of triggering everything. Okay, welcome back everybody. Welcome to Random Encounter, the on and off, on again, off again, dependent on GM or player health podcast. Because it's variable and all manner of different things keep on getting in the way. But we are back for another recording, another session, where we are picking up from where we left off. They've gone down a floor in the Abomination Vaults, and they are starting to regret their decision, at least before they leveled up. And we are going to go through the standard bookkeeping stuff, though, just at the start and everything else. We have got Foundry VTT that we are using as our VTT of choice, which in this case, with the fact that we're using the Paizo official Abomination Vaults package for that, also therefore includes some Sirenscape music. So we've been using that as well. And then we've got the sort of rest of the things. We're using OBS, we're on YouTube, it's all good fun and all that sort of stuff. And we are using real dice from a variety of different companies. So goodness knows I'm not going to go through all of those. None of these things are sponsoring us anyway. More's the pity. So we have a whole bunch of stuff, and obviously we are doing the Abomination Vaults adventure path. It's been quite good fun so far. I do quite like this one. There are myriad other ones that I would love to run with these guys, but we're going to finish this one first before I commit myself to any other games, at least any other Pathfinder games. So I got
4
plans.
years later.
I got plans. I got plans. Yeah, by that time it will be Pathfinder 3rd edition, and goodness knows. We are, for various reasons, kind of mixing and matching, and not deliberately so, but we're mixing and matching the remaster stuff. So periodically we'll remember the real words and the proper words for remaster, and the classes are all kind of set up to be the remastered version. But Neffy is still a tiefling and not a Nephilim, like they are now, if you've got the new rules. So there are a couple of little bits and pieces like that have kicked in, although Neffy has regained dark vision. I'm not entirely sure what happened for a little while, but Neffy has regained dark vision as far as I can tell. So it's... We're never entirely certain what's happening. This is the joys of using VTTs, is periodically things will show up and cause us problems, and then we're fine with it. The only person now that can't see anything is Olerin, and that's the way it's been from the beginning.
I've got a light on my shield, so we can see things.
Well, yes, that's the point, actually, because your light on your shield appears to have dropped, so I'll give you that back, because it's the light spell, I believe, but we'll put that on you. There you go. Right, so there has been a whole sort of mix of stuff going on, and yeah, it's caused us a little bit of confusion. As I was saying right at the very beginning, these guys have dropped themselves down another floor of the Abomination Vaults. They found themselves in a tavern to start with, full of a variety of different creatures, but on adventuring out have done their best to avoid combat at all costs, or got themselves into small fights and run away from them. Now they, however, find themselves in a situation where not only have they spotted a creature that they recognise and has caused them only mild inconvenience in the past, but it appears to have been joined by something significantly bigger on this occasion. So what we're going to do, we've actually rolled our initiatives and everything in advance so that we didn't have to pause the recording. We could get on with this as it is. So I'm going to jump us over to the screen, and I'm also going to start our wonderful Sirenscape combat music that's built in, and we will start to deal with this combat. You guys can see the carousel at the top. This is one of the first times I've actually got it centered so that the viewers can see it. And Neffy rolled a reasonably good initiative at initiative 27. So it's a shame that one of my creatures is going slightly before you.
Rude.
Very rude. The large serpent-like creature that I said to you before had this very strange sort of millipede-style body, a large tri-fanged mouth at the front, and what looked almost like the tails split and turned into dagger points at the end. It's going to be able to react first in this fight. What it does is it kind of winds its way around the steps. It isn't climbing, so it's not just going straight up the side. So there is a slight advantage there for you. It does, in fact, sort of clamber itself up onto the steps and begins wending its way around. So it's going to take a little time to get to you. So it goes from where it is right now. It's going to go 25 foot for a single move, so 5 to there, 15 to there because that's diagonal, 20, 25, so that's one action, 30 to get to there, sorry, another 5 to get there, that will put it 10, 15, 20, and then it can't actually do any more because its movement would be used up. So it's going to stop there. And let's have a little think.
And then it's going to surrender, right?
No, and then the what looked like its tails whip around to its front. Okay, and these tails that I said look like they kind of split and then join back together and have a knife end on the end. What you actually realise is it's using its tails to hold on to a longsword. And it brings that longsword up round the front of it and scrapes the sword across its jaws, and you see that there's this ichor now dripping from the weapon. So it appears to have put a venom onto the weapon. So that's going to be all of its actions. However, what I will say is that the creature itself seems to sort of be looking at you. Now that it's closer, you notice that over the top of its mouth are these 3 green eyes. And it flicks, though it sort of seems to be staring at Neffy, who stood in the door. And you can hear it in your head. This alien language just seems to suddenly burst into your brain, and you understand that it sort of seems to be talking to you, and it goes, "Did Uravanian send you?" And it's your turn.
Is that a name that we've come... That's not a name we've
It's
come across. It's
not a name you've come across, no.
Okay. Did it sound fearful when it said
Oh,
that?
no. It sounded real threatening.
Oh, okay. I mean, I'm going to shout through the door, "No, he didn't!" And then, can I try and identify it?
You absolutely can. I need from you, because there's no way, I don't think you've got any laws that will help you in this case.
Probably not.
If you've got aberration law, fine, you can use that, but it will be an occultism roll.
Occultism. So that's plus 11.
Mm-hmm.
Are you rolling or am I?
I am rolling, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And I have the dubious knowledge one, in case you need to know that.
It's okay. You've heard of these things before. You have. So This type of creature is known as a Sugathi. So Seugathi, Sugathi. It is an aberration, an aberrant creature. You already know this. They have telepathy. This is something that you're very well aware of. So these are actually created creatures, created by another race, an alien race known as a Neothelid. So again, an exceptionally powerful creature is a Neothelid. And it's a very strange process. A Neothelid effectively impregnates itself using dark magic to create these creatures, and then uses them as servants. They're relatively dexterous creatures. They know how to use weapons. Some of them can cast spells. In fact, quite a lot of them can cast spells. They have they do have this venom that they can put onto their weapon, and specifically this one appears to be some sort of guard. So they're pretty good with that. They've immune to mental and poison effects, and they're actually quite resistant to bludgeoning damage. Outside of that, the biggest problem that you've got, and you're about to have to roll it, is they have an aura effect around them. You need to make a will saving throw, please.
That is 23.
Okay, you're all right. You're fine. And you now know that you're immune to this effect for a minute. The downside of these creatures is they have an aura of confusion around them. Anybody that fails will gain the confused condition and can start attacking anyone.
Okay.
I feel like I've been here before.
Yeah. I feel like
stay
that
away
might be in
from
some
my
lost episodes.
My badger highly biffed.
I mean, outside of that, they are pretty good fighters. They have poison effects. Yeah, it's that kind of deal.
Okay, is it particularly resistant to anything? Like
Bludgeoning weapons.
anything?
Bludgeoning weapons. They're resistant to bludgeoning weapons.
Oh, so I can actually damage this one. That's a first.
Boss might be happy as well.
It's only got an AC of 50.
Okay, so that was one action to identify. I'm gonna have to go into the room.
Mm-hmm.
So,
At which point you see the Grothlet.
Oh, hello.
So, because you've just entered its area of effect, I need you to make another saving throw, please, as you start to hear it moaning.
Another will.
You need another will saving throw, please.
Nat 20.
Okay, you're fine. That's not a problem, and I believe that makes you immune to that creature as well. Yeah, temporarily immune for a minute. You can attack the large creature.
Yeah. That is 31.
31. Okay. So 31 would normally be just a hit.
Mm-hmm.
However, you're a mastermind and you identify it, which makes it not flat-footed, off guard to you for this. That is a critical hit.
Okay.
So
we've done this before, and I can't remember any of the any of the dice rolls. Hang
okay. So the big thing for you from this perspective, you're using your hand crossbow, I believe. So that means that your hand crossbow is going to do 2d6 damage. You're level 5, which means that because it is off guard, you also add your sneak attack to this. Your sneak attack currently is also 2d6. You're going to roll those 4d6, and then you're going to double everything.
Okay. So 8. 8 plus 6 is 12?
Unit.
14.
14.
Double that.
Okay.
So 28.
28 points of damage. You managed to catch this thing effectively. It's like it's opening its mouth like it's going to bite you, and this gets a shot of a crossbow bolt just whistles straight down its throat.
Miles, can you come stand in front of me? Because I'm pretty certain it's going to try and hit me next.
That is your three actions. Your three actions. It is now Phelan's turn. Phelan, you don't have to roll the aura because you actually, not because you're out of it. Well, you are out of it. It's a very tiny aura, to be fair. But it also can't see you, which means it can't affect you with its aura anyway.
Excellent. Right. See how far away we are. "40 feet from its ass." Did we figure out if these things are particularly fond or non-fond of fire?
You are the only awareness that that Neffy kind of probably shouted out as she stepped up is that they are immune to mental and poison. No idea about fire.
Right. Okay. I'm going to pluck the big bead off my necklace of fireballs.
Okay.
Let's see.
This is getting
Fireballs.
serious.
That's
They're,
awesome.
they're 20-foot radius, aren't they? So
Believe so.
If I were to, where's the?
And the origin for that will be in the corner of a square.
Right.
So you should just be able to just click and drag out and get yourself a.
The corner of a square. Right,
So
that's
if I did this, there's your 10 foot, there's your 15, there's your 20 foot. So the interesting thing about that is that you could effectively make it hit the guard, but it wouldn't hit anybody else because of the like the shaft itself would cause some
Right.
blocking. However, if you tried to do it there, that would be entertaining. I would say. Yeah, because if you're targeting because you target the creature, don't you, or do you target a space with the necklace?
With the necklace, it is center of the fireball, anywhere within 70 feet.
Okay, so it's targeting a location, and you make an attack roll.
Only if you really think it's necessary. It's at the GM's discretion.
So functionally, I'm going to say the only reason I would want you to make one, and in this case I will, is because you're trying to kind of get it past the guard ever so slightly. You're trying to get it over this creature. That said, the target number normally for a location is 5. I'll make it a 7 because you're going through a large creature. So it would be if you've got more than a +7, so long as you're not rolling a 1, you should be okay.
We're all good.
Okay. So you managed to
So
sort of.
I'm going to take a step to the thing and get it on the moaning thing, so it gets both of them, but does not, in fact,
I
incinerate
might.
Neffy.
Yep. Yep, that's perfectly fine. So you managed to sort of get this bead and sort of flick it so that it's going to drop just behind the guard so that it doesn't cause any other further problems. I believe I do get a reflex saving throw for half at least, because I think it's a basic reflex save.
Yeah. It is your basic reflex DC 21.
DC 21. Okay, so for the large creature, it's going to pass that and take half damage. For the one at the back, this could be bad. I will fail, so I will take full damage. So the one at the front takes half, the one at the back is going to take full.
Okay, dice rolled gets me a total of 25.
25. So large boy at the front here is going to take 12 points of damage because we roll it down. We roll it down. No, we roll it up. So 13 points of damage. And the one at the back will take the full 25. Which does seem to really upset it quite considerably. That does not seem to be something that it is overly happy about. Now, so that's a step for one.
Yep.
Throw the bead for a second one. Is there an interact action to pull a bead off as well? Is that part of it, or does it say
it says it's just an interact action to use the necklace?
right? So that would include the throw. So you've got one action left.
You know what? That was fun. So I'll use the one remaining 4d6 bead.
Okay. Again, just to make sure that we don't accidentally bounce it off the head of the guard. Let's see if you roll a natural one.
Which I don't.
Which you
So
don't.
9 again.
Okay, so one at the front, he will pass again, so he'll only take half. The one at the back rolled a 3, which gives me a total of 8. What did you say the DC was again?
21.
So that would be a critical fail on the creature at the back.
Okay. Damage rolled on the dice 17.
Okay, so the one at the back, it dies. 17 days, 34 points of damage. So being hit by 2 fireballs causes it some problems. We'll get to what happens because of that in just a moment. The one at the front,
Don't do it again.
17 points of damage is reduced by half, so he's going to take 8 points of damage. Now, the creature at the back, you've seen these things before. When they die, all of that large bloated mass becomes a slight explosion. So it explodes. All creatures within 30 foot. I have a feeling, Neffy, you're gonna get got by this. But yes, you will. Okay, so you are going to be hit by this. So he explodes. Now, when he explodes, what he's going to do is you need to make a fortitude saving throw, please.
That is 22.
22 is a pass. Now, even on a pass, because it is a each creature in the area must succeed at a fortitude save or take damage. Okay, so you because of your save, you are fine. You don't take any damage. I will say this: the creature at the front with a 15 is going to critically succeed at this fortitude save, so it wouldn't have taken any damage anyway. But yes, there's now bits of the other creatures spread across the balcony and across the walls just behind Neffy's head. That's your 3 actions. Inver, it is your turn.
Yeah. So it was an aberration, right?
It is indeed, yes.
Do I know whether that is extra vulnerable to whatever good damage is now called?
That would be holy damage, and no, aberrations are not affected by holy damage.
Okay. But it wasn't
Well, most
resistant to
aren't.
fire.
It was not resistant to fire.
Searing light it is.
Fair enough.
The extra damage would have been nice, but it is the most powerful damage spell I have.
Mm-hmm.
And feels like a good plan right now.
Yep, that's fair enough. Additionally,
So with a
because
natural 1, I'm going to hero point that roll.
you're also just on the edge of the aura, by the way, so you're quite lucky here because you're not having to make a save.
Cool. So I'm aiming, for clarity, for the bit that is not obscured by the
Yeah.
cover because it's enormous enough that I've got 30 foot of...
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that's
Lights
fine.
to
That's
it.
fine.
So,
That's,
16 plus 2... No, that's not how this works. How do I work out my ranged attack?
Your spell attack is plus 11.
Okay, cool. That is a better roll. 27.
27 is a hit.
Excellent. Good. 6 plus 6 for 12 plus 2 for 14 plus 1 for 15. 6, 2, 1. 18. 22 points of damage, please. And it does get a regular save, I think.
I don't think it does because it's an attack roll. Normally anything that has an attack doesn't have a save.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Success, yes, takes full damage. So 22 I said, didn't I?
You did indeed. This thing is still alive. It looks like it's been barbecued. I'm not entirely sure what barbecued millipede really looks like, but, you know, that's the image you should have in your heads right now.
Gee.
He doesn't look happy, I'm guessing.
No.
Not impressed.
Unimpressed, I believe, would be the phrase. Now, I think that's probably 2 actions. Oh, okay, you are done.
That's 2 actions, and I was just deciding what to do with the third.
Ah.
So, having just barbecued it from a distance, I'm going to try and use Intimidating Glare.
Fair enough. I believe that's against its will DC, so make yourself an Intimidate check.
Yep. So, 19 plus 13 for 32, please.
Okay, wasn't quite expecting that. Its will DC is 22, so that would be a critical success. That makes it frightened 2, 3. I can never remember, but I think it's 2.
It's demoralised, isn't it? Essentially, is what I've just done.
It is indeed. It is indeed. Okay.
So frightened 2.
Moz. Although actually, to be fair, do you share a language with it, or have you got something that allows you to
I've
bypass
got
the
Intimidating
language?
Glare.
Oh yeah, okay. Then
Because I
it doesn't
glared
care
at the
less.
ghouls and they got in the bin.
Yeah,
So
yeah. No, well, this
made it and glared at it.
this one feels like it needs to get in the bin as well. Mars, your go again. You are also outside of its aura at the start of your turn, and that is exactly where you want to be. The only person that was in it was Neffy. And if Neffy had failed, I would have had way more fun in this combat. But apparently, I get no fun.
Moz is going to do something highly technical. Been standing next to near the door, ready to move. He's seen Neffy gone in, heard a twang, and or possibly he's seen fireballs go down range through this door and heard them go off, and something exploded wetly. And then Invar's done something down the corridor with a vague gesture, and then glared, and something's gone. And he's got no idea because my line of sight is cut off 1 square into the corridor.
Yep.
So Moz is just going.
What's going on?
So Moz is going to do something highly technical, which is basically run to the other side of the door, so we can see what's going on. Because I haven't got an idea what the map looks like.
Going to the other side of the door, you don't see anything either.
No, but I transit, so I at least have an idea of what's going on and what the room looks like.
Yes, indeed, you did see that. You can continue your move action if you want, because you still will have some movements. That's fine.
How bad does it look on this brief dash across?
Real bad.
Very bad.
Like really bad.
Yeah, I will. In that case, then I will stay here and I will prepare an action, which is to stab it in the face when it runs this way.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm sure Neffy yelled to you to please go and be a meat shield.
Yeah,
Did.
Yeah,
it's very,
you did.
very almost
You did.
dead. You guys are doing absolutely fine. I'm here to support your endeavours.
Okay, it's its go.
Leading
and
from the back, I see.
it
From the
steps
mid,
up to,
from the mid.
it steps up to
Neffy is
Neffy.
feeling really betrayed.
Don't run into the
Okay.
room first, then. Mm.
Okay. Fine. It steps up to Neffy.
Oh, my brother.
And it's going to swing the long sword from its tail at you.
Yeah.
So, is it just going to bite you?
Can he at
I
least
see.
ask
I
first?
see the advantage of using the longsword. I have 10 foot of reach with the longsword.
Oh, God.
10
10 foot.
stepping up. Yeah. I'm within 10 foot there. I'll just attack you from there.
Oh, thanks.
Just make
Okay,
sure.
that makes sense.
That's not a long sword.
It's
That's just
there.
a spear.
Well, no, it's using its
Yeah,
tail.
that's-
You see, the reach is from the fact that it's holding it in its tail.
Oh.
So it's going to swing the long sword. A 4 on the dice gives me a 16 in total. So
Nope.
that's not too bad. Failing miserably at that, it is going to now step forward because it's now going to try and bite you instead. That being an agile attack, it's slightly better in terms of everything else. So, right, well that's a 12 on the dice for a 23.
Just. Yeah.
Okay, so let's start this off with the easy part of this. It deals 8 points of piercing damage as it bites you.
Okay.
However, I really, really, really want you to make a fortitude saving throw now, please.
I kind of don't. That is 28.
28. Almost a critical success. You feel this poison start to burn into your body, but you shake off the effects of it.
Okay.
That is its 3 actions. Neffy, you are immune to its effects, so you
Yep.
get to have your turn as you wish.
Sneeze on it.
Sneeze on
I'm
it.
going to drop my crossbow as a free action and pull my rapier,
Yep. Nothing happens.
and then stab.
Okay. Make an attack.
Oh, that's cocked. Try that again. There we go. 17 plus 14. What's that? 31.
31. That is a hit, but only a hit.
Right. So if I'm
So
doing
1d6
Using my
plus 1.
it says 2d6 because it's got the
2d6.
striking on it.
You've got striking on it, yeah. 2d6 plus 1.
7 points of damage.
Due to the sheer amount of crispiness, the creature drops and starts to fall off the side, but just sort of settles against the railing. It stops moving.
Stab it a second time. It bit me. I'm gonna stab it again.
Yep, that's fair
Neffy
enough.
is learning from Moz. Keep killing it.
That's fair enough. Okay. The creature drops. It is no longer alive. Everything starts to go quiet. And it finally just ceases to be. all you get is this sort of cacophony noise of like air moving around you. In fact, if you're in that center chamber like Neffy is, if you click on your own token, you get an additional audio effect of this sort of sound going around the room, or at least you should do. If it doesn't come up, it doesn't come up. It should do, but it's an ambience noise. If you've turned your ambience down, that might be another reason why you can't hear it. You kind of pace yourself around a little bit, get yourself all sort of set up, and yeah, we'll auto assign a little bit of XP to you. You're still not leveled up, guys, but you're getting there. You're getting close. You spot the whole rest of this room. So this chamber, just as a quick reminder, there is a wide spiral staircase that continues downwards from where you are, and you can see that actually it does come from above. So this would be an easy way of going back up a floor to where you were before, because you could get yourself back up to the same open area that you kind of were in previously. The first time you came to the floor above. It levels out with this balcony kind of area with a single door opposite you. But the big thing that is really kind of impressive about this space is that the northern wall is glass. It's a very cloudy glass, but it's a massive curved cloudy glass that looks out onto a huge cavern in which is a large pool of water. There is a dim orange light from below with this sulphurous stench coming from the floor below you.
Geographically, is this that wet space the same kind of water wet space where underneath the throne room area?
Yeah, so now that it's a little bit calmer, and I did mention this before when you were here, you can see a little orb-shaped body bobbing around in the water, or at least what's left of an orb-shaped body bobbing around in the water.
Arcana, that glass isn't gonna... Is like one-way glass, or is magic glass, or is anti-magic glass the same way as the tavern?
You would not be able to... It doesn't... Nobody can detect magic from it. There's no sign of that. There is magic in the area, by the way, Neffy, but you're pretty certain it's not coming from the wall. When you get to it, you're pretty certain. You kind of, I'm assuming Moz is very carefully peering through the glass. It's quite cloudy, and the main thing that is like a saving grace is it's quite dark on the other side of the glass, and it's quite dark in here. So while you can see through, you're pretty certain from the other side it's really difficult to see through. It's not that it's impossible. Things can probably see you, but it's certainly quite difficult. And as you get up to the glass and start looking through, with obviously you kind of spot the body bobbing around in the water, you do spot two exceptionally large creatures. And they appear to be sleeping in the water. But there's enough of a mass of them that you can tell that there is something there. And in fact, just to give you a brief kind of idea of what it looks like, that is what you can see resting in the pools of water.
Guys, can we go back to the level we were on before, please? Like maybe have a rest.
Sounds like a plan. We've got some convenient stairs here to go up.
Also, in fact, before you come in here, Phelan, can you cover that torch over on your shield just in case? It's one-way glass into two-way glass, and we get utterly
yeah. Okay.
teeth.
I'll cover.
Am I
Cover.
able to ascertain where the magic is coming from?
Seems to
If
be
I
off the
do
creature.
my back and forth and back and forth. The
Yep,
one, the big
the
one.
The big one. The big one with the sword.
Is it in fact the sword?
The sword.
Oddly enough, no, it's not the sword. The sword.
I start investigating.
The sword is a fairly plain, dull sword. But what you do note is that the sword, it wasn't just holding on to the sword, it had its tail wrapped around 2 items that it was holding at the same time. One is the sword, perfectly reasonable, good-looking sword that I'm just adding it into your party sheet right now for you to decide where it's going. But it's also holding on to a wand.
Ooh.
Oh, hello.
I hand it over to Phelan.
So I let you
And I
guys
look
do these
at
rolls.
Invar. Like, look, I'm doing the good thing.
Well done.
There are obviously roles that you guys can do. I'm happy for you to do them for identifying stuff because it just feels a little bit better. So it is possible to identify this off of any skill, any of the identifying magic skills. So Arcana, Nature, Occultism, or Religion. Roll whichever one you want to. There's a natural 20 in there. I can see it in Becky's face. She's got this smug look on her face.
Only 27 here.
Only 27 there. And that's
25.
is that Nature? That
Yeah.
one from there. 25.
20 on occultism.
20 on occultism. So all of you manage it. In fact, Phelan was the least likely to because Nature was the harder skill check. All the rest of them were just a 20. Nature was the slightly harder one. It is a wand of See Invisible.
Ooh.
Mm.
Wait, when are we going to find the invisible things?
Oh,
Always makes me nervous.
Been to bed.
You have been given an
We've
item
been
for...
to bed.
Yeah, you've been given an item for random, unknown reasons that lets you see invisible creatures. Let me think about why you've been given an item.
Hey viewers, do you trust your GM? We don't.
I mean, to be fair, we have ruined the trust he had in us with our little awoo, so, you know.
He had
No, it's
trust in
expected.
us.
It's expected now.
Oh, yeah, fair point. I'm not convinced he trusted us to start with.
Okay, so that looks like a somebody else other than me job.
So yeah, they're... Well, generally speaking, it is... when it's in a wand, it's... Anybody can cast it. It's got that whole thing of...
Well,
but
it doesn't have the primal tag on it.
it does not have the primal tag on it. So, yeah. Okay.
Arcane?
Yeah, it is an
Arcane, divine,
arcane,
and occult.
divine, or
Okay,
occult
fine.
item. So anybody that can cast any of those spells can use it.
So, Invar then.
Or you, because I believe you've got the ability to cast arcane.
Yeah. But Neffy's being good.
Okay. You take the time to head your way back upstairs. And we will very quickly just show that, nice and simple. We can activate this map instead. And I have put you all in the correct place. You are now at the top of the shaft. You have obviously cleared a few rooms and a few bits and pieces around this area. You can choose where you're heading in terms of where you're going to sleep. But we'll figure that one out. I mean, you could always go to the top of the tavern again, anything like that. So they're back to kind of where you delved downwards into this area. You could head back there. But yes, you've got a few options kicking around for you to do. For the sake of simplicity, we will hand wave that a little bit. You find yourself somewhere to bed down. You get yourself sorted out. Obviously, at this point, on a mechanical side, if you open up your character sheet, if you hit the button for a rest, that will reset people's spells. That will reset all of that sort of stuff that is important on a mechanical basis for you to get all of those things back. And then my question becomes relatively simple. Where are you going?
Let's go kill some stuff on this level and get some more practice.
I mean, there are some areas
Yeah,
around here that we haven't cleared out, yeah.
Yep. Suddenly they look a whole lot more enticing.
So you are aware of a couple of things that are definitely on this floor that you have not dealt with in any way, shape, or form. There were 2 basilisks that you saw wandering around. That's one of the first things that you're aware of, down at the end of the very long corridor in the centre. You're also aware that there is some sort of ooze-type creature that you have also not dealt with. Not entirely necessarily certain if that is something that you want to deal with, but it's there. There is that creature kicking around. There is the door that is barricaded with a bed that you decided that you weren't going to move. But there was also an entire section where you knew you would have to climb up onto a bridgeway in order to go down if you wanted to avoid the basilisk. So those are kind of your options on this floor. You didn't really have a lot else.
Is the ooze thing that room where it is full of the strange bubbly liquid
We
encountered during the murder slicey Red Queen corridor?
That's right, yep.
Yes.
Yeah, cool.
Yep, and obviously there are rooms, as far as you're aware, on the other side of the murder slicey corridor, so there might be something that way, but you've got no idea about that one.
Mm-hmm. I'll be honest. That ooze is, I don't think, in my my experiential repertoire. Anybody else got any ideas what to do against strange, bubbly, goopy, oozy things other than fry it repeatedly?
Say, kill it with fire.
I'll chuck a flaming sphere in there and close the door.
I mean, we could try it.
Yep. Worst case scenario, we put the bed back up against the door and leave it be.
That wasn't where the bed was. The bed was an entirely separate room.
I
But we
think
could grab a bed.
we should look behind. We should look behind that bed. Just
Yeah, we probably should.
it could be a genuine danger, or someone could just have put that there to throw people off the scent where the good stuff's kept.
Hmm.
All right. So, shall we investigate the mysterious bed? Then go ooze hunting, then contemplate the meaning of existence and leaving basilisks well alone, or?
Okay. I am going to... I'll move you nice and quick, because most of the area you've seen, so there's nothing that can really be a concern. So if I just shuffle you over this way, we'll run you guys off the map ever so slightly, whee, nice and fast, and then bring you back down into the room where the bed was. There we go. Okay. There you go, quick, nice and simple movements. Let's get that done. I can move through walls. Fine. You have arrived down at this chamber. This door up to the northern side just here. That is where the barrier is, as it were, the thing getting in your way. You do have the portal chamber to the south, which again, you've still not activated any of the portal chambers, just to make everybody aware of this. That has not been on your list. Further down to the south was where you fought the bone golem, and there are the various weird blade rooms, and goopy room of bubbling stuff is also just round the corner from here. So that is a further option for you. You spend a little bit of time moving this bit of furniture away, just being quiet and careful, getting it shifted, just in case. You know, it seems a bit odd that this space has a barrier to this room, considering all of the monsters have been on the outside of this so far. What on earth are they barricading in? You take a bit of a listen.